I've gotten so many requests to elaborate on my makeup collection, just loads on all of my different videos of people wanting to see more, I guess. You know, opening up the palettes or lipstick collections, highlighters, just a load of different things. And I keep getting asked that. So, and I know those collection videos were really long, and so I did have to cut it a lot, so I wasn't able to show a lot of things. So, in addition to that, I asked on Instagram if people wanted me to do, like, I guess essentially collection videos of collections. Kat Von D was a big one that people wanted to see because I do have all of her palettes and stuff like that. So that's the one I'm going to start out with. And then I'm going to, instead of you having to like see me the whole time, I'm going to show you, like, kind of film it how I did with the collection video, because I feel like you can see the makeup a little bit better and stuff. So I'm going to do it that way. So if you guys have some feedback or anything, sure, feel free to leave it down below, along with any requests of maybe what you want to see next. I kind of don't, I'm a little not sure where to go with it, because I've just gotten a lot of people wanting to see more. So input would be awesome. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump right into what I have from Kat Von D. So I'll just start off with the first larger palette that Kat Von D did for the holidays, and I'm not exactly sure how many years ago this came out, but it was a while ago. So this was her first holiday palette. It looks totally like a book, which I think is pretty cool. It's Kat Von D Tattoo Chronicles Palette Volume 1. Looks like that, and then her artistry is in here with some pages and some writing that she did. And then if you open up this cover here, there is a mirror, and then there is the makeup that came in here. And there's a pair of lashes, which are a little out of control for me. And then shadows. And the shadows are pretty nice. I think that they've come a long way since this first palette. But they're still, nonetheless, they're still pretty decent. I did use this quite a bit back in the day, and then those are primers that they aren't dried out yet, so that's pretty good. But I do have those in bigger sizes from when she had them like that, but I don't use them quite often. And then you can pull this here out, and in the bottom of that was a Saint rollerball, her Saint perfume. It says every woman has two sides. Oh, it was a double-ended one, that's right, because I obviously pulled it out, but it was a double-ended perfume that had Sinner and Saint on each end. So that's the first palette that she came out with, larger size for the holidays. This is the second holiday palette that she did. It's kind of got a felt, this black part is felt, that's what I'm trying to say. And then it says on the side, Tattoo Chronicles Candelabra Edition. Again, it looks like a book, which I think is cool. The felt, though, it collects fuzz and stuff like that. But same thing on the inside, her awesome artwork and some writing and stuff like that. I just think her stuff is so cool, like, right? I just think it's awesome. And then you have a mirror again, and then you have the shadows. This looks quite familiar, doesn't it? It looks like the layout of the Disney palettes. And these shadows are really nice as well. I do think that her more recent palettes are even better than these. But they're nice. And then here's a mascara. I wasn't that big of a fan of this mascara, but the packaging on it's really, really pretty. And then there are the shadows, and they're pretty nice there. So that is the Candelabra edition. And then 2 years ago for the holidays, she came out with this one here. It's the Kat Von D Starry Eyes makeup palette. I think 2012, I want to say. Looks like that. Changed the format up a little bit. It's kind of got that little seal thing on there, like if it was looks like a letter. And then inside, it looks like that. And there were two liquid lipsticks in there, and I did pull those out and put them in with the lipstick. But there you have her art, and there's a mirror in there, and there I am. The green one and one other one of these they came in single permanent ones, which I'll show you those as well. But these are the 3 shadow trios, and these are crazy pigmented, and they're really pretty. And the pans are big enough for so that you can separate out the shades fairly easy. So that one is Starry Eyes makeup palette. And then quite a bit of folks will be familiar with this one. This was the Christmas palette from this past year, 2013. And what is the name of it? It is called the Spellbinding Eyeshadow Book, which you can mix and match, and the shades are supposed to switch up and shift and all that stuff there. So you have the looks, and then there's this. I don't really care for the sheet over the top. I'd rather would have had those printed in the inside, but I did actually do a video and a look on this. If by any chance you're interested, I'll link it down below. But yeah, some good shades in there. This one here was from the Candelabra palette. It's WTF, but that is that one. Now we'll go back to her, I'll just set these up here for use, but we'll go back to some of her old school 8-pan palettes. This one right here is the Memento Mori palette, and it's got blue on there. I just think they're so cool. I really love this old packaging. It kind of has that NARS grippy feel to it, but that is what the inside of that looks like. Her older palettes, I'm so glad that she did away with the cream shadows, because they always dried out, and if they didn't dry out, they probably would never set. So but that is what it looks like. Aren't those shades beautiful? Again, these from about here on out, I think the palette's kind of, the quality is pretty much across the board, although her newest palettes that came out, the Chrysalis and the other one, I think are by far the best, but these are still really nice. So that's Memento Mori. And then this one right here is called Truth. There. And that is what that one looks like. That was one of the cream shadows that it's, you know, no longer usable, but all the rest of the shades, I mean, super gorgeous. This is one of my favorite palettes from her as well. I love these green shades. They're just beautiful. So that one is Truth. And then this one right here is called Angelus. And it looks like that. Another beautiful palette there. There's the cream shadow that's dried out. This was really, really pretty though. If this was a powder shadow, that would have just been amazing. But these shades are really, really pretty nonetheless. Again, another good palette from Kat Von D. And then this one here was called the Love and Fury palette. Looks like that. And this one had three cream shadows, which was a major bummer because they all dried out pretty quick actually in this one. But the shades in these is really pretty. I did get quite a bit of use out of it. These shades here are really, really beautiful, but they did have quite a bit of fallout. But nonetheless, a really pretty palette. I had a lot of fun with this one. And then we have True Love palette right here. Another gorgeous palette. This one looks very familiar to one of her newer ones that she still has in the permanent line. I'm going to set it aside and compare it when I get to that one, but gorgeous palette. And then this here, okay, this is probably my favorite. Well, I can't say that. They're all my favorites. But this is one of my favorites palettes that she came out with, and this is the Gypsy palette. I absolutely love this palette. This one here I actually got off of, what's that, what is it? Where people trade makeup, that one site, because the other one that I had was stolen at, I was staying at somebody's house and she had people over and they hijacked probably a sad $1,000 worth of my makeup, and this was one of them, and I wanted to cry. I do have a backup of it, but I wanted to get another one to use, and then it was dropped. But isn't this sucker beautiful? I love this. I'm almost hit pan on this one. It's got a green duochrome to it. That one, so beautiful. Love the Gypsy palette. And then this one here this is the third palette she released after her Beethoven and Ludwig palettes. This is the Metal Orchestra palette, and it looks like that right there. This one here looks brand new as well, because this is an opened backup that I had, because the one that I had used was another one that was stolen. So this one, it looks untouched, but I did use this palette quite a load. But this is a newer one right here. So that is Metal Orchestra, super beautiful. And then here we have good old Beethoven. I love this palette. Absolutely love this. Let me show you. I know there's another one in here because I was trying to use up. So this baby's old as well. This was the first one that I got, and it's very, very well loved, but I still have it in here because I might reach for, you know, some of these shades, but I busted out the newer one because I really love this yellow right here. So that's the Beethoven palette. I wish she didn't get rid of these. I think it's the saddest thing, but anyway, Beethoven, absolutely love it. And then this one here is another favorite. This is the Ludwig palette, and this one here is actually the second palette. I used up almost all of these shades in my other one, and then my mom has this palette as well, and she likes these shades, so I ended up swapping her. So I mean, she doesn't wear that much shadow anyway, but I started digging into these, and then I did use up an entire one of these palettes as well in the past, and do have a backup of it because I really, really love Beethoven and Ludwig. They're just awesome go-to palettes. So that's Ludwig, love it. And then these are her newer packaged palettes with the plastic, which I don't really care for this packaging, and I definitely don't care for the cardboard packaging as much as I liked this packaging right here, but nonetheless, it's still really pretty. So this one here is called the Poetica palette, and it comes with the liner. This is the one that really looks like True Love right here. Very similar. So the top one is True Love, and the bottom one is the Poetica palette. So very similar, except for the second shade in on the top there is a cream, you can see. But other than that, to the eye, the copper and the brown are a little different. So, but pretty similar palettes there. So. And then this one here is called the Sinner palette, which I believe is still available at the Sephora. And it looks like that. Another really great palette. Some of these grays and blacks and stuff are repeated in a lot of the palettes, I think. But then there's the liner in there, but super pretty. And then this one here is the Saint palette. And it looks like that. Just a really, really good all-around neutral palette. Right there. And then this palette, I regret not getting a backup of because it was a limited edition one. It's the Mi Vida Loca palette. This is an awesome palette. Super fun color palette right there. And the shadows perform really excellent. Really like that one. I should have got and it's got a purple liner in there, but I didn't get a backup of this one. I was so sad, but I think I'll live, right? That's the Mi Vida Loca palette. And then the last of the 8-pan palettes in this format here is the Ladybird palette, which everybody, I believe, on here knows about and loves. It's an all matte palette there with a brown liner, but just a really good neutral matte eyeshadow palette. So that one is Ladybird. And then one of her more recent palettes is the Esperanza Palette, which I did a video on this too. Any of the Kat Von D videos that I did, I'll link them down below if by any chance you're interested. But this is the Esperanza Palette right here. This is when she switched to the cardboard packaging, which I guess she switched to it with the Christmas palette, but still, I'm not that fond of the cardboard. I do love the print, but I wish she could. I think she could have printed it on this type. But anyway, this is the Esperanza palette, which I'm not sure if it's still available or not. I know my more local Sephora, I think I saw it in there, but that is what that looks like. Just an awesome palette. It's great to switch the shades around and mix and match them and stuff like that. So, Esperanza. And then her more recent palettes here, which are absolutely amazing, is the Monarch palette, which the names aren't actually printed on here, which kind of makes me sad, but I do love the packaging on this. Again, not too fond. When you come from this type of packaging to this, it's kind of seems like a downgrade to me, but still this pattern is just absolutely beautiful. So this is the Monarch palette, which loads of people are loving on the tube right now, and absolutely concur. It's a stunner, and it performs absolutely beautiful. So that's that one. And then the other one is the Chrysalis palette. Another stunner. I feel like this one doesn't perform quite as well as the Monarch one. It still performs really great, but The Monarch one has it beat by just a bit. So that is the Chrysalis palette. Right there. And then I do own 2 pigments by her. This one here is called Star-Crossed. And I don't use these that often because I don't think they're that wonderful. The pigment in them is really chunky. Like if I were to even go like this, it probably won't come out. There's a little bit that came out. But that is what that looks like. I don't use them, again, packaging is absolutely gorgeous and cute, but I don't use them all that often because they are quite chunky. And then this one here is called Torment. And it is a purple shade. The colors are really pretty though. And then over here we have, these are pretty old, and they're discontinued for quite a few years now. These are the duos right here that she had, and the packaging is just stunning. So I'll just go through them. This one here is Believer. It is a white. One side has got glitter in it, and then the other side is just kind of like a shimmer. That's how, I don't know if you guys can see the duo there, but that is Believer. And then you have King Cobra here. There's a green. That one got quite a bit of love. And then Air Guitar, which is a neutral brown shade. This one is Livewire. It's like that. This one here is Moonshine. It is a pretty blue shade. See, there you can really see that this half is the one with the glitter, and this one is just kind of a shimmer shade. But and then there is Confessional. I use this one quite a bit. It's a really pretty highlight shade, champagne shade. And then there is Groupie, which is a purple. This one here I actually had to take like a spoolie or something sharp to scrape away because it was creating a hard pan on there, but it's still a pretty shade. Very similar to a lot of the shades that are in her current palettes that are purple. But and then this one here is Six Shooter. It is a gunmetal gray color. And then there is Riff Raff, which is a really, really deep chocolate brown. And then the last one is Motorhead. And it is a dark black. Dark black. It's a black. So there are the duos, and I believe that is all of them. And then here we have, these are the ones I was talking about from the Christmas palette that from 3 years ago that has those trios in there. This is the exact same trio that's in that palette, and this one is in, this one's in Helmet. I actually got these on sale at Sephora for $11, and they were originally $22, so pretty greens. And then there is Dreamer, right there. I haven't played around with these much actually, but they do, I mean, they pack nice pigmentation. So this one here is Fever Ray. Is that what it says? Yeah, Fever Ray. So really pretty burgundy wine colors. And then the last one that came out with that little range is called Beyond Redemption, and it is some pretty blue shades right there. Then she also came out with 4 shadows that she called Shade Shifter shadows. I don't know if these are, yeah, Shade Shifter eyeshadows. I'm not sure if these are still available or not, but they're pretty cool. This one here is Stockholm. It is a blue with a purple iridescent to it, and when you coordinate these particular 4 Shade Shifter shadows together, they come out with some pretty neat looks. So that one is Stockholm. And then there is a purple one. It is called Love Letter. It's got a big sponge in there. And this one shifts. This one's kind of got a deep purple burgundy wine color to it. But this one here I think is the one that shifts the least out of them. And then this one here is called Devotion. And this one shifts green. It's like a golden color that has a green shift to it. When they blend out, they just create some pretty cool looks. But And then the last one is called On the Road, which is very similar to, I would say, Club from MAC. It's that green and brown duochrome to it. So, and then she did come out with some smaller palettes, which this is the first one right here, which was a 500 point perk, I believe, from Sephora. And the shadows in here are actually the shadows that were from these little duos right here. So this was called the Rock and Roll eyeshadow palette, and it's got Believer, Confessional, Groupie, and Motorhead. Yeah, they're these shadows that are in there. So, which I didn't find these to be quite as nice as the duos, but here's that one. And then this one right here is a little quad, and it is called Star-Crossed. It looks like that. Some pretty shades in there. And then this one is called, oh, okay, this one says Starstruck. So what's this one? Oh, Star-Crossed, okay. And this one's Starstruck. And it looks like that. Those are some cool shades right there. And then there is this little guy here. Isn't that cool? I just really like the older packaging like this. But anyway, Little Sinner. And that one looks like that. And then there is Little Saint. These names are just cute. I really like this one. This one's really pretty. Kind of a periwinkle blue shade in there, which is pretty unique. And then these ones here are called she did like a, I don't know if it was fundraising or she was doing some things for the Art of, was it Elysium organization? Anyway, these are two of the palettes that she, so what it says right there, that she came out with for that. And this one is in Evelyn. And that is what that one looks like. Pretty neutral quad. And then the last one in that style is this one. This is actually the last eyeshadow. And it is called Kimberly. And it looks like that. So I just love her art. It's just awesome. And then I have 3 of the liquid lipsticks that she came out with. These 2 here are from the palette, the holiday palette that I showed you. And they are in, this one is Outlaw, and then this one here is Lolita. And then this here I got at Sephora. Did this come in a palette? I can't remember. But it's in Adora. Right there. And then this is the first bronzer that she ever came out with. It is called Shady Bronzer. And there is a quote on the back that I'll let you guys read there, because it's kind of profanity, I guess. Anyway, this is what this looks like. And it's almost used up, and I was going to town trying to use it up, and then I stopped and was like, well, maybe I don't want to use it up because they don't make it anymore. But anyway, that's what that looks like. It's just a pretty bronzer with some shimmer in it. And then a more recent purchase is the Everlasting Face Shaper Bronzer. And this is still available. This is the Shady Business 1. Cute packaging. And it looks like that. It is just a pretty bronzer. Use it a few times. There. And then I have 4 of her blushes, which are absolutely beautiful. They apply awesome. There's some really, really nice blushes. They're Everlasting Face Shaper blushes, and this one is in Wish. And it is a pretty peach color. It's got a satin finish with a little bit of micro glitter in there, but I don't think those really transfer to the skin. But super pretty peach shade there. Yeah, you probably won't be able to see that, but and then this one is called Porvita. Beautiful. This here is a beautiful, hopefully it's picking up true color. It's a bright coral shade. Absolutely beautiful blush there. So pretty. And then there is, this one here is called Love Song. This is a well-loved one. It's super pretty. It's a bright, cool tone pink with some shimmer in it. Again, I don't think the shimmer really transfers, but it does have a sheen to it. So, there. And then the last blush that I have is called Bellissima. And this one, again, an absolutely beautiful peachy coral shade. right there. Her blushes are really amazing. I highly recommend checking them out if you haven't, but pretty coral shade right there. I hope this is picking up. And then I have 6 of her lipsticks, and I got these on sale at Sephora. They were all like $6 a piece, like a pretty good steal. So this one is Stiletto, and it is just a vibrant reddish orange shade. A red with an orange undertone, I suppose we could call it. And then I have Celebutard, which I really like this. It's a pretty pinky nude shade. Right there. I really like that color. And then I have Valentine, which is like a fuchsia color with, it's kind of got some gritty glitter in there, but the color is really pretty. And then there is Lolita, which is a dusty rose shade. Right there. Pretty deep dusty rose shade, actually. And then there is, I can't read that. Berenice? It looks like Bernice. And this one here is a red. This one is similar to the shade with the glitter in it, except for it's the red version. Well, it appears to have glitter. Okay, it's just kind of a shiny shimmer shade, I guess. This one has glitter, this one doesn't. Still pretty unique colors with the silver packaging. Which ones? They're called the Foiled Love lipsticks in the silver. And the other ones are called Painted Love lipsticks in the black. This one here is called Coral Castle, which I do wear this one quite often as well. It's a really pretty orange shade. Orangish nude, I guess. Right there. So that one is Coral Castle. And then I know I showed these in the collection video, but I guess it's part of my Kat Von D stuff. These are the train cases that I have. They're no longer available, but they're big and heavy duty and super awesome. They come with keys. And the artwork, you guys, on here, the artwork is just absolutely amazing. Like, I would just love if she came out with some more of these, maybe in a couple different sizes and styles, but this is the black one, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Inside, it's very well used, so you're going to see some remnants in there. And then I used to put my brushes in these little pockets right here. Well, I still use it every once in a while, but that's that one. And then this is the other train case that I have from Kat Von D, which is beautiful. This is the first one that came out. There's a feather in here, but this is the silver one. It says Puro Amor on there, Kat Von D. Again, her artwork is just divine. I love these things. But super, super pretty. And the inside is quite similar to the other one, so this one have been used quite a bit. Right there. And then I might as well show you, this is the first train case that she ever came out with. This was years and years and years ago, and it's like my go-to when I travel train case. And it looks like that right there with the studs on the side. Very, very well used. Some of those little squares actually fell off. There's some of my travel items in here, but there was a mirror here that was toast probably a year ago, but I use this like crazy. It's super pretty. I wish she would do some more of these. Don't you guys bombard her Instagram or something? No. And then I guess down there you can see my favorite perfume from her is the Saint perfume. And that's the only one that I purchase. I absolutely love it. And then the 2 brush sets that she came out with, they have little pouches like this. I don't know which ones are still available. I can't remember. This is probably the first. There's a missing one, but first brush set. I used these brushes and used them till no end, man. But the handles, they're quite similar to like the Sephora brand brushes, because obviously, I mean, they're made by Sephora, but with way cooler handles. So that is the that one right there. And then the more recent one, this is a brand new one that still has the packaging and stuff on it. I actually got this on sale really cheap at my more local Sephora inside JCPenney's, but I have another one where the brushes are somewhere in my little brush collection, but that's what that one looks like. So pretty. And then the last of the Kat Von D that I own are some nail polishes. This one here is called Wonder Child. Right there. And then there is No Regrets. It's like that. I actually haven't used those two. I did use these ones. This one here is called Sparkle. I can't read that, the deal is too light. Sparkle something, but pretty color. And then the last one is called Mad Max that I have. And that's all I own from Kat Von D. So there's all the makeup that I have from the Kat Von D line. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sure, feel free to leave suggestions down below, along with if you like the way that I filmed the video, and then what you guys maybe want to see next. You know, I don't know in what order to go, and you know how quickly I'll be able to upload them, but you know, just here and there I plan on doing it if you guys enjoy them. So in any event, thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later.